Advanced English Arabic Learning Session 58. The city is going to clamp down on illegal parking. I've gotten 5 tickets since the clampdown began. They withdrew to their rooms for a siesta. The new crisis has opened old wounds. The sergeant was seriously wounded. United won 4 games in a row. It was drawn up by a notary and was a binding contract. While dreaming the child wet the bed. I do commend the officers involved upon their zeal and energy. That is laughable. He was commended by the judge for his courageous actions. Just below Cairo the river bifurcates. There are boulders in Iceland that have historical significance. Floating bundles of logs bound together with ropes. We had in tandem the conversation. He is in a political bind over the abortion issue. There is a euphoria. The female extrudes spawn which is unviable until the male comes along and fertilizes it. A stain on our national conscience. He is a dead ringer for his late father. The deputy either has a very short memory or is suffering from political amnesia. A disorder that causes tremors and muscle rigidity. One of the more interesting types of amnesia is what psychiatrists call the fugue state. You have much comprehension in your dealings with people. Cotton candy. Roller coaster. The rich fairy lore of Ireland is the subject of many oral legends. Some people lean towards yes. He inserted the key into the keyhole and hoped for a miracle of sorts as he turned the doorknob. A Hollywood hunk. A hunk of bread. My friends were impressed with the hunk I'd netted. You are auditioning for the role. It's a cacophony. If I nagged him to lose weight he may think I don't find him attractive. A stern warning. The witness had corroborated the boy's account of the attack. The novel carries the usual disclaimer about the characters bearing no relation to living persons. A single strand of hair. Disclaim an opinion stating reasons for the same. He was her friend and mentor until his death. I will give it a read. Some studies theorize about the possibility of these genetic superiority. Gynecology. Convenience store sometimes called express store. Is this place bugged? Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Smoking is an epidemic, it is a metaphor for cancer. I am getting hazed. A system whereby people could vote by telephone. Packing contraband. He was relatively short in stature and often amusing on account of his klutzy habits. Whistle like a missile. Contraband cigarettes. The response was a tidal wave of indignation from MPs. The vast majority of whom boycotted the questionnaire. The contraband market. He shows great maturity in handling her confusion and indignation. The place where the road forks. His imperious demands. Imposing the lifetime ban. Detention without any charges and without any court review can last an entire lifetime. Hoist them into a safe future. Detectors were installed to monitor pedestrians only on the crosswalk but not on the footpath. My first foray into journalism. She repeated the same broadside at her Senate hearing. This odd broadside concluded by proclaiming that the government is shut. He left a cushy banking job. Femicide. He furiously pointed at him and launched a broadside of obscenities at him. But there are issues that should be tackled immediately, especially in the field of juvenile crime. Mastectomy. Gilded statues and carvings adorn the walls, and pilgrims come from far and wide. They took a skin graft from my back. The nullification of the marriage. If the present glacial comes, it will be the real disaster. Forget global warming, global cooling is the real one. Seamless connect. Moraine is a mass of rocks and sediment carried down and deposited by a glacier. The more successful vaccine rollouts. Conjugal partner. Some of the bodies remained under debris as rescue workers cleared rubble. Conjugal loyalty. A stable arrangement of planets, comets, and debris orbiting the Sun. Hair scrunchies. Everyday staff at the airport check runways to ensure they are clear of any rubbish. She marvels at the big surprise. Dirt is screened to remove pebbles and organic debris, such as roots. Absconder. Distilling is vaporizing a liquid, then condensing it by cooling the vapor. Where Nissan nailed it and where it failed it. Her career had begun anew, with a lucrative Japanese modeling contract. If you're on the hunt for a roomy SUV, their winsome smiles and charming looks lit up the place, setting hearts aflutter. You don't bond to others easily, but when you do, it's long-lasting. The killer's name will live in infamy. The keynote conversation. To pay their respects in the atrium. Atrium is an open-roofed entrance hall or central court in an ancient Roman house. The spin-off series. Spin-off is a byproduct or incidental result of a larger project. The commercial spin-off from defense research. Spin-off merchandising. The corporation announced plans to spin off its computer keyboard. The group hopes to spin off a TV series based on the movie. Time with my girlfriends rejuvenates me. The Exile Singer. Crypto-Bisman. A total lack of effective bond between the concrete and the steel. He found a rusty piece of gold. He did a brief stint in the insurance industry. A momentous life event. I've given her a light sedative, she'll be dozy and will hopefully sleep through the night. Complete mayhem broke out. We see how plants and animals live together in symbiosis. As we breathe out carbon dioxide, the plants take it and give us back oxygen. Some stale figs partly allay our hunger. You can either quote or paraphrase literary texts. Patients press Sunrise General practitioners for somatic treatment. To identify explicit factors between somatic and psychological symptoms. Tiny sip, tiny flip. These mutations were not present in normal cells, indicating that they arose somatically. Femur length. Aren't I a bit long in the tooth? Women should foot the bill. Kick in. The start of uterine contractions before delivery. A woman in labor. She labored very well and comfortably because she was relaxed. I am a small but essential pillar of society. I don't teach or sweep streets. They are punched in the gut. The woman has guts. The aquifer is a body of permeable rock that can contain or transmit groundwater. A bad workman always blames his tools. Trucks dumped 1,000 tons of refuse here. The number of people learning ballroom has doubled. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. A drowning man will clutch at a straw. The event ends when it ends, sometime during the night, and by daybreak. Adversity and loss make a man wise. Machines resemble the contraptions used by the lottery agencies to determine winning numbers. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. He was allegedly a leading participant in the coup attempt. The threat of reprisal. Now they're putting the finishing touches to a new album. He would be down for reprising his role. The ultimate essence of life is learning to live good life. The relish of wine. He responded well to treatment, but then suffered a relapse. He was relishing his moment of glory. The abruptness of the attack appears shocking. We did not relish the idea of a strike. Posters and leaflets showing pictures of fetuses. A chink in the curtains. Kitty upended her purse, dumping out all her money. Spend some time massaging the forefinger and thumb of each hand. This will improve your stamina and vitality. My house is spick and span. A super-duper touring bus. Excluding an emergency landing strip, 10 airfields had been built in the beachhead area. Catherine led the way out of the ballroom across the parlor. I am super-duper busy. Saran wrap is cling film. I remember 2 years ago when I was scolded by my teacher in school. Rubber means also an eraser. The end. Coming next. Session 59.